Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to the world where AI meets Wall Street. You've sent us some research on Instruct-FinGPT. And honestly, I'm pretty excited to dig into how it might actually change the game for investors. You
Yeah.
imagine you're trying to figure out if a company is a good investment, right? You see these headlines about record profits, but then you read deeper and you find warnings about future risks. It's like,
It's tough.
it's enough to make your head spin.
That's exactly the kind of complex situation where um, Instruct-FinGPT could become a very powerful tool. It's a new type of large language model, or LLM, as we
Ah.
call them, that goes beyond just scanning for keywords. It's designed to actually understand the nuances of financial language and context.
So instead of just, seeing the words profits up and just giving it a thumbs up, it can also weigh those future risks to give a more balanced analysis.
Precisely think of traditional sentiment analysis models as someone with a basic financial dictionary. They can tell you whether a word is generally positive or negative, but miss the the subtleties.
Yeah.
Instruct-FinGPT is more like a seasoned financial analyst who can understand the bigger picture.
Okay, so walk me through how it gets that expertise. The paper mentioned something called instruction tuning.
Yeah, so it's like giving the LLM a crash course in finance. Instead of just feeding it raw data, researchers trained it on a specialized data set that shows how humans analyze financial text. It learns to pick up on things like numerical sensitivity, not just seeing a number, but understanding whether that number is actually good or bad news in a specific context.
That makes sense. The paper actually gave an example about a company that reduced its losses. A basic model might just see the word loss and flag it as negative, but Instruct-FinGPT can understand that shrinking a loss is actually a step in the right direction.
Exactly. And it's not just about numbers. It also excels at something called contextual understanding. So in that example we just talked about, it wouldn't just see reduced losses in isolation. It would take into account the overall financial health of the company, industry trends, and any other relevant information to form a well-rounded assessment.
So it's almost like Instruct-FinGPT is building a story in its AI brain, connecting all the dots to see if the narrative is positive or negative or somewhere in between.
That's a great way to put it. It's using its vast knowledge base to make those connections and understand the subtleties that a simpler model might miss. That's where those LLMs really shine. They're not just looking at words, they're analyzing meaning.
That's fascinating. But isn't ChatGPT also an LLM? What sets Instruct-FinGPT apart?
That's a great question. While ChatGPT is incredibly versatile, Instruct-FinGPT is specifically trained for finance. It's like the difference between a general practitioner and a specialist. They both have medical knowledge, but the specialist has deeper expertise in a specific area.
So Instruct-FinGPT has really honed its financial skills, so to speak.
Exactly.
Ah.
And it's not just about the training data. Instruct-FinGPT also benefits from a specific type of architecture called decoder only. I won't get too technical here, but essentially this architecture makes it more efficient and accurate in analyzing financial sentiment compared to older models.
So it's like it's speaking the language of finance fluently, while other models might need a translator.
That's a great analogy.
This all sounds very promising, but the research also mentioned Instruct-FinGPT outperforming a model called FinBERT, which was specifically designed for finance. If they're both financial specialists, how does Instruct-FinGPT come out on top?
Well, think of it this way. FinBERT is like a specialist who trained a few years ago, while Instruct-FinGPT is fresh out of residency with the latest techniques and knowledge. It's building on the foundation laid by models like FinBERT, but taking things a step further.
So it's at the forefront of financial sentiment analysis.
Absolutely. It's pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and the research shows it's achieving impressive results.
This is all incredibly fascinating. I'm eager to delve into those specific results. What kind of tests did they put Instruct-FinGPT through, and how did it perform against the competition?
Great question. Let's start with that example we touched on earlier, how it handles numbers. Researchers created a data set specifically to test numerical sensitivity. They put together a data set with things like company earnings reports and economic indicators, really testing how well these models could understand the numbers in a financial context.
Sounds like a tough exam for these AI analysts. How did Instruct-FinGPT do?
It passed with flying colors.
Mm.
One example from the study really highlights this. There was a news snippet that said pre-tax loss totaled euro 0.3 million compared to a loss of euro 2.2 million in the first quarter of 2005. FinBERT, that older specialist we talked about, actually labeled this as negative sentiment.
Really? But the company significantly reduced its losses. It seems obvious that should be positive.
Exactly. And that's where Instruct-FinGPT shined. It correctly identified the positive sentiment, as did actually ChatGPT 3.5 and 4.0. They all understood that even though the word loss appears, the context clearly indicates improvement.
So it's really living up to that seasoned financial analyst comparison you made earlier.
It is. And they didn't stop there. The researchers also wanted to see how well Instruct-FinGPT could handle those tricky situations where the meaning isn't obvious from just looking at a few words. They put together another dataset focused on understanding context.
I bet that one tripped up some of the models. Financial news can be so full of jargon and double meanings.
You're absolutely right. One example was the situation of coated magazine printing paper will continue to be weak. Now, FinBERT missed the negative sentiment here.
Really, it seems pretty clear to me that's not good news for the paper industry.
You'd think so, right?
Hmm.
But again, Instruct-FinGPT, along with ChatGPT, accurately labeled it as negative. They were able to see beyond the surface and understand that this phrase signals ongoing struggles for that specific sector.
That's impressive. It sounds like Instruct-FinGPT is proving itself to be a valuable tool for anyone trying to keep up with the fast-paced world of finance.
It is. The financial landscape is constantly shifting, and you need a model that can adapt and learn in real time. That's why the researchers also tested Instruct-FinGPT's zero-shot learning ability.
Okay, break that down for me. What is zero-shot learning?
Imagine you're suddenly dropped into a foreign country where you don't speak the language. You'd have to rely on your general knowledge, intuition, and ability to pick up patterns to navigate the situation. That's essentially what zero-shot learning is for an AI. It's being asked to analyze data it's never seen before without any specific training on that type of data.
So it's like the ultimate pop quiz for an AI model. Did Instruct-FinGPT rise to the challenge?
It did. They used a data set called the Financial Phrase Bank, which has thousands of phrases taken directly from financial news articles. Instruct-FinGPT was able to accurately determine the sentiment of those phrases, even though it had never seen them before. It even outperformed ChatGPT 3.5 and the original LAME 7B model in this test.
So it's not just a one-trick pony regurgitating what it was trained on. It can actually apply its knowledge to brand new situations. That's pretty powerful.
Exactly. That adaptability is one of the things that makes Instruct-FinGPT so promising. It's not just limited to the specific tasks it was trained for. It has the potential to be used in a wide range of financial applications, even those we haven't even thought of yet.
It seems like this could really change the way we analyze and understand financial information, moving beyond just looking at numbers and keywords to grasping the deeper meaning behind the data.
You're exactly right. It's about moving from a superficial analysis to one that truly understands the context, the nuances, the bigger picture. And that's where Instruct-FinGPT excels.
It's like we're moving from, black and white financial reporting to a world of full color, high definition analysis. We're not just seeing the numbers, we're understanding the story they're telling.
That's a fantastic analogy. And that richer understanding could have a huge impact on everything from investment decisions to market research. Imagine being able to analyze the sentiment of thousands of news articles, social media posts, and financial reports in real time.
You could really get a pulse on what the market is thinking and feeling, not just what the raw data says.
Exactly. You could identify emerging trends, anticipate market shifts, and make more informed decisions. It's about gaining an edge by understanding the subtle cues that others might miss.
For an individual investor like me, that sounds incredibly valuable. It's like having a team of analysts constantly sifting through information and giving me the key insights.
It's like having a powerful tool in your arsenal that can help you navigate the complexities of the financial world. Of course, it's still important to do your own research and not rely solely on any one model or tool.
That's a good point. It's about using AI to enhance your own understanding, not replacing human judgment altogether.
Precisely. Think of it as a partnership where AI can provide you with valuable insights and data, but ultimately you're the one making the decisions.
So to bring it back to our listener, what does this all mean for someone who's interested in using AI to improve their financial literacy?
I'd say keep learning and exploring. The world of AI is constantly evolving, and there are always new tools and techniques emerging. Instruct-FinGPT is just one example of how AI is changing the game in finance.
It's a fascinating field to keep an eye on, that's for sure. And it seems like understanding sentiment analysis, whether through Instruct-FinGPT or other tools, could become a crucial skill for anyone who wants to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. It's no longer just about crunching numbers. It's about understanding the stories those numbers tell and the emotions they evoke. It's about seeing the bigger picture, the nuances, the context. And that's where AI can truly shine.
So for our listener, the takeaway is The future of finance is intertwined with AI tools like Instruct-FinGPT are giving us a deeper, more nuanced understanding of the markets. Stay curious, keep learning, and who knows, you might just find yourself ahead of the game.
Well said. The financial world is full of opportunities, and those who embrace the power of AI will be well positioned to seize them.
That's our deep dive into Instruct-FinGPT. We hope this has given you some valuable insights and food for thought. Until next time, stay curious.